You're watching Soul Sisters on Pure Soul, powered by Isaac Hayes on Dash Radio.
I was watching y'all talk to each other on the Instagram feed.
Oh, that's funny. So
thank you so much for being here.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
So my initial question is, as a comedian, doing your job and being a comedian who's probably played in clubs and done all types of things, what was your initial thought when you saw what happened?
My first thought was that this incident just made my life a little more dangerous.
Okay.
The fact that Will Smith, as powerful a person, because of a joke, breached the stage. And so there'll be people that's way less than Will Smith that think that's okay. Right? So I don't say a lot of incendiary things, but you never know what people interpret, what they're going through. See, what Chris didn't know is what Will and his wife was going through at that moment. Right? And so he does a joke, a fairly light joke, mind you, and it prompted this action. And so what stops a guy in Toledo, Ohio from feeling some kind of way about a joke Rodney Perry did that may or may not even be about him and coming on the stage and attempting it, but walk on my stage if you want to.
Well, we can say that wasn't Chris Rock's stage. It was really the Oscar stage. I get what you're saying, but
see, and I think
he was gonna make a huge stink, kind of like being at some, you know what I mean?
Well, I think that, but this is the thing. I think
not violence anyway.
If you can do it on the Oscar stage, you can do it
anywhere.
No, what I'm saying is, I don't feel like he would have come back on that stage. Like, I mean, I guess he could have. Of course. I mean, it looked like he was almost about to swing on Will. But
Chris,
he kind of held himself back, like, wait a minute, this is my job almost. But I get it. I get what you're saying.
I mean, Will Smith is not a little guy. 6'3", 200-something pounds. He really looks like a bully in this situation. The whole piece about defending our women, I've been talking these lives on my page for the last few days, and it really makes you think about that. Like, are we creating the atmosphere where our women feel safe? And so I get that, but man, I was disappointed in Will. I read his book. I'm a fan. I expect more from him.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. That's a very good point, because I was thinking this earlier. Why do you expect more from him? Especially being a celebrity yourself. He's human. Now, I'm not saying that what he did in front of everybody was okay, or even if he was going to do it, but I got to be honest with you. If it was me, I definitely wouldn't have did it on live TV, but I would have had a few choice words to say with him backstage. But why do you think, why are you so disappointed? It's because you hold Will up here and he can't make mistakes? Do you really think he's that superhero? Why?
No, people make mistakes. But when you grown, you don't get to put your hands on nobody no more.
So you're disappointed because he did it, because he put his hands on him at all?
I'm disappointed because Will Smith is better than that. As a human being, we've been watching this guy all our lives. He's never displayed this type of activity.
But then doesn't that make and to me, I think for me, and like I said, this is just a lot to unpack. And I totally understand how you feel, but I think that it is a case-by-case situation, simply because you started by saying, I don't necessarily do jokes like that. And I know you don't. And that's something I'm gonna ask you, in a minute. But I think that that's the point that I started to look at it like, here's a person, an actor, who has damn near had, excuse my language, a perfect career with very few missteps, like ever.
Well, that we know about.
But regardless, but my point is that's the only thing that matters actually is the ones we know about, really. Because it is
because it could be indicative to the behavior that we're seeing right now.
But this is the thing. I feel like whether it be Rodney, you or me, with the amount of people we know in the industry, we would have heard, because I done heard a lot of stuff about a lot of people that everybody else doesn't know about that's not necessarily positive. So at this point, I feel like one of us or somebody in our, whether it had been our fathers when they were alive, or my dad's worked with Will Smith. So I would have heard something. And I'm saying somebody who has basically not made any missteps in his life, get on a stage like that on the biggest night of his life and do that, it makes me, ask the question, why? Because something's got to be terribly wrong.
And why do you think he was out of control? Do y'all think that, I mean, I kind of almost feel like that smack obviously wasn't just for Chris. I feel like it was a smack for anybody that's ever bullied him, anybody that's ever bullied Jada, all of this other stuff. I mean, that's how I feel. Of course, I could be absolutely wrong. It could be something related to something completely different, or it could just have been personal to Chris because of jokes in the past. Like you were saying, Heather, Rodney, you wouldn't do jokes like that.
Okay. Yeah, I would. I'd have done it. I'd have done the joke. It's a roast, right? And I see the joke.
But that's a roast.
No. It's a roast type situation.
Okay.
Like when you host the Oscars, you hit people. That's what you do. That's the type of jokes they write. He had already done 3 jokes before that, right? Mm-hmm. So I can't say I wouldn't have done those jokes in that situation. Mm-hmm. But hear me out. He watched it. He laughed, a real laugh, big old laugh. And then he looks at his wife. The one person in the world that could push your buttons. I'm married 25 years. The only human being that I would go crazy for is the lady that lives upstairs in my house. Mm-hmm. Angela Perry.
Yeah.
She can shoot me a look that lets me know it's time to do something. Remember that movie John Q? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When the lady turned to John Q, she said, "Do something, John." Mm-hmm. She didn't know John's ass was going to take over the hospital.
Right.
To me, it was the same moment for Will. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they had to talk that day. I don't know if it's Oscar day. It's a lot of pressure. And she felt unprotected. If she says that to him and she shoots him, there we go again. I'm alone again. You the last.
What if she didn't? What if she didn't say anything? What if it was just?
You don't have to say anything, Yama. That's what I'm saying. Okay. She shoot the right look at her man.
Well, I feel like even if she, I think Rodney's right. Even if she didn't look at him at all, if that's been a discussion that they know is painful for her, he knows what pain looks like in her face, unlike we do. Mm-hmm. So he would have recognized it. Whether he laughed or not, he would have instantly recognized that. And, couples have conversations. So has it been a conversation in the past, like, you're allowing all these people to say all these horrible things about me and you're not doing anything, you're not protecting me? That could have been all a flashback for him in that moment. You know what I mean? I agree, she didn't have to say one word, because you saw on her face she clearly did not like the joke at all. And so for him as a man who clearly in his book has said, I didn't protect my mother, so now we are here to his wife, and I haven't really been protecting her because I've been doing the Hollywood thing, trying to keep it copacetic and be, parents just don't understand Will. And now it's time to protect
I feel like he had absolutely had it. And he's like, y'all keep on thinking I'm really the Fresh Prince.
I mean, I think that that's part of it too, but I think that speaks to the mental health part of it, because I'll ask Rodney, how do you, because I can say I'm just gonna keep it 100. I can say for me, and I wasn't even famous. I can say for me, the pressure of having a parent that was famous and the amount of verbal assaults that I took on a regular basis because of it really made me want to commit suicide.
Really?
And take it, probably still.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. So for you as a person who is a public person, how do you navigate through the opinions and the comments about you?
Not about you, about your family.
About your family, because I done seen a few.
Well, I mean, my wife and I, we go through painstaking measures to protect our children.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't start seeing my children. They be grown, 18, 19, when they want to be a part of it.
Right.
So we work at that. But the only time I had to really deal with it is when I was on Monique's show. And you would look at I'm on every night, and now I can see the blogs. And my wife was like, you can't read that stuff because it's going to be good stuff in there, but it's going to be 80% bad.
Mm-hmm. So
you got to step back. And so I had to learn to step back and not read it all. But I mean, the reality of it is, I'm on a level now where I say what I want to say. I do what I want to do. I'm at Golden Corral right now.
You like that food?
I came into this one thing I like to get. But anyway.
Look, the doctor is over here. I got something. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
No, but hear me out. And y'all asked a great question too. Like, as a celebrity, is Will above a certain thing? It's not he's above it. It's just we don't know him for anything else. Like I'm a huge James Brown fan. I know James Brown had hands. If I hear stories about James Brown putting hands on somebody, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we don't know that. All we know is Ali from Will. And you never heard him being a bully. You never heard him step out of character. So it's like, man, I'm disappointed, Will. I read his book. His book inspired me.
Mm-hmm.
How did the guy that wrote this book be that out of control?
Well, his first chapter is about fear. I feel like he's still a work in progress. I don't feel like he wrote that book to completion because he got through all those things. I think it stared him right in the face and he went right and he it's almost like all the training he had worked on just right out the window because it was his wife.
But I also think like when I think about my father and my mother in like their heyday, and it's kind of the training kind of that you learn. And you learn to be, don't say that, smile, don't, and it's a thing that you learn to do, but you're not really dealing with, this person really just disrespected me, but I need to be nice. Right. I need to shake hands and kiss babies. And for me, when I look at Will, that's what I see. I see a man who knew how to play the Hollywood game, shake the right hands, kiss all the right babies. Even when he was being disrespected, he smiled through it. But if you don't internally deal with that, your anger about that, we're going to get what we just saw at the Oscars. Because to me, that's a man that just was fed up. Like, I'm fed up. And if you look at, and I also think there's a personal element to it with Chris. I don't know what's going on with them, but I know that this started like in 2016, which I had a problem with Chris even host. I didn't like the jokes because it was pertaining to the lack of Black representation at the Oscars, and he kind of made fun of and mocked the whole, boycott the Oscars and stuff. So I didn't really like that. But then when you fast forward and I see things like Chris going on to Will's ex-wife's page, I think it was, where he wished her happy birthday, and he said some slick mess on a social media page. And I'm like, now that's weird. Like, you're not on your stage. So I feel like we always say, there's components to whatever's going on that we don't really know. But what I do know is that you can only take disrespect and smile through it, but for so long, because nobody's perfect. And I think it's kind of odd that we're all saying the same thing. Like, we've never seen him act like that. We've never heard about him acting like that. I saw an interview with his mother. She said she was shocked when she saw him do that. Because he's like, when you think about the conversations that he's openly had about his marriage, like, he wanted to break up with Jada because Jada cursed at him. So that's a person who has compressed for years and years and years and years. And finally, he just was like, I done had it, and smacked. And just like, I don't feel like that smack was solely for Chris, but I feel like it was for all of us that, we Facebook gangsters we on the internet. Yeah. But I mean, the thing about it is like, Rodney, when I look at your jokes, I see, for me, everybody's like, it's just comedy. But I feel like we're in a space, whether it be comedy, whether it be people who just feel like they can say what they want to say about whomever. I feel like there is a line. There used to be a line, just in general, that people just simply did not cross. I remember my mom said,
why aren't wives and kids off limits no more?
Yep.
Rodney?
Who said they are?
Why aren't they?
Why aren't they?
I mean, they are to a large extent. You know, like, you know, he wasn't your wife is famous. You ain't married to Angela. Mm-hmm. You married to Jada Pinkett Smith. They know what they signed up for. You like guess what they can do that we can't do? What we can do, we can go into a restaurant and sit, nobody bother us.
Yeah.
Right? Will Smith can't do that. So do he get to just start snapping? No. Snapping is a luxury that he doesn't have. You know, I talk to some friends, well, don't Will get to snap? No. Will Smith does not get to snap. That's the price of being a billionaire with movies and TV and da-da-da and da-da-da and hit records. You don't get to snap.
That's so unfair to say
so
that
what?
About somebody.
Life is unfair.
Because that's his job, though. That's his job. That's not who he is. He plays characters.
Yeah, but when he put, okay, God, I want big movie career. Oh yeah, and let me get the TV career. Oh yeah. Oh, and Anna, I want to be a rapper. Oh yeah. And God, and I'm gonna take all this out. What? Oh, I gotta be public and be cool with people all the time. I take it. And he took it. That's what comes with this stuff.
But okay, so let me ask you a question, because I agree that that's what comes with it. But I agree with Yama. I don't understand. And like I said, I've seen, Rodney, you're famous. I've seen a few things where people, to me, I be wanting to cuss them out for you. And you good at, like, I ain't gonna say nothing. But see, to me, they don't get to disrespect you because you're famous, because you happen to be talented and you happen to work your ass off. They don't know you. You don't get to say that. And I understand what you're saying, that that's just life. But I think the problem is that we've normalized that behavior. And that is problematic. You are a person. You are a person who clearly has been able to navigate through it. But why should you have to? Like, you bust your ass like everybody else.
Well, also, too, you're not born famous. Will Smith wasn't born famous. He was born into a household that he had to see domestic violence, deal with domestic violence. He was getting abused. He was getting bullied. All of this stuff he talks about in his book. So all I'm saying is that he had a life before he became Will Smith. And why can't we honor that person?
Yeah, he's still a person. And I really feel like, and like I said, I peruse the internet for lots of different celebrities. And I feel like for some reason, when you all become successful, you are no longer human to people. And I don't understand that. That doesn't, because in real life, you would not say some of the things, they wouldn't say some of the things I say to you to their aunt, sitting in their face, they wouldn't say it. Mm-hmm. And so I just feel like we've normalized being verbally abusive and cruel to people. And I'm like, when do we get there? And I know, and the thing about it is, it's probably always happened. I know it's always happened because it happened to me when I was a kid before social media. Mm-hmm. But I think the social media platforms have really allowed the, bottom of the barrel, bottom of my shoe type of people to get on here and express their misery and direct it at other people. And I'm just saying that we really should not normalize that behavior, because it really translates to kids getting bullied at school. Then when they get home, they're bullied on these social media platforms, and then they go shoot up the school. And then people want to wonder why. Well, this is why. This is why he told y'all to stop messing with him, and he then came and shot up the school. Or the kid that internalizes it and then he hangs himself.
And we know it's not right.
But that's what happens.
It is exactly what happens.
And it happens over and over and over again. And people ask themselves why. Like, I was a kid without social media that thought of suicide.
From being bullied.
From being bullied. Not by just kids, by teachers.
We know we got a short period of time. Rodney, can you give us some final thoughts on what you feel about all this?
Man, you know, I've been processing this for the last few days. What people think you're saying matters. Not just what your intent was, but what they think your intent was matters. And so as I move forward, I'll try to be thoughtful. I don't want to live in a life free of bullies. I don't want to live in a life where nobody can say nothing to me. I don't want to live in a life where people feel like Rodney is above XYZ. If I eliminate certain experiences, I eliminate my ability to learn from those things. So I think while what Will did is or was abhorrible, I think he will learn from it. I think Chris Rock proved himself to be the most professional man in entertainment.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could have done it. I don't know if I could have stood there with the same poise and continue to do my job. I don't know if I could have done that. So moving forward, I would say, you know, when we evaluate people that look like us, the certain luxuries we don't have. And what you gotta say is true. He should get to be a human, a regular old guy. But guess what? You ain't.
Yeah.
Your ass ain't regular, Will Smith.
Yep.
And you got all the stuff you've been piling up. Oh, let me get my big old house too. Yeah. And all my talent, my kids. Oh, I got great kids too. And they do what they want to do. I got all my stuff, and this stuff comes with a cost. And it might be your privacy.
I agree with that.
It might be sometimes people joke about your wife. It might be sometimes that people think you got an open relationship and people want to call you out on that. It might be something you got to pay for all that stuff. All this costs. All this stuff you pray for. You talk to God for. It costs. So those of you out there that want to be in this game, just know it costs money.
Thank you, Rodney.
Thank
I appreciate
you so
that.
much.
Thank you so much for coming on and really talking to us from that point of view, because, you know, like Heather and I said, we got a different point of view. So
I mean, y'all daddies were the biggest men in the world. What must that like to have lived that from your perspective?
But it cost.
It costs a lot.
It costs a lot.
It costs family.
It costs holidays, Christmases, Valentine's. My children have stories that don't include me.
Yeah, but we talking about what it costs when a family. We haven't even talked about the outside looking in and giving you grief and drama, but that's a whole nother story. So.
That's a whole nother cost.
Yeah. Well, look, but we didn't ask for it. See, that's the thing.
Y'all
See,
did.
that's the thing.
When Daddy said his prayers, he just got in on it. Sorry.
What'd you say?
When Daddy said his prayers, y'all right here.
Yeah, we just got in on the prayer by default. That was all.
Look, I ain't gonna say I don't benefit or haven't benefited or will continue to benefit. All I'm saying is that to put the weight of that on people that didn't ask for it, this is different because we'll ask for it, like you said.
Right.
But when you put that weight on people that don't, and then you expect people to be here, it's like you forget. I put my pants on just like you. I go to the bathroom. I have bad days. I have good days. Like, you cannot be like, because this person is famous.
We'll jump into his plans.
I mean, it ain't like Will is a heart surgeon It ain't like he's saving lives every day. It ain't like he a firefighter or somebody like that. He is literally an entertainer.
But I think the thing about it is like Rodney said, our perspective is never going to be what a normal person's is, because our fathers, because we used to look at our dads like, why y'all so hype? He just
I still look at him like that.
Like, I literally used to be like that, like, whatever, like, can we, you know what I mean? So we're never going to have that type of perspective, unfortunately. I just feel like there were a lot of prices to pay for that. And if I had a choice, I don't know that I would have done it that way. I don't know that the price was worth the cost.
Wow. Heather, your dad made the soundtrack to my life. Literally. I wanted to be Chef. The first record I ever listened to was your daddy.
And that's crazy. That's crazy that we're friends and we talking and you schooling me and Yama. We so appreciate it.
No, it is. I mean, it puts
James
you in
Brown is the
perspective.
architect of all hip hop. All hip hop borrowed from the great James Brown. That when he put the beat on the one, that changed music. James Brown changed music as we know it. Come on.
Yep.
And we know he would have smacked somebody in the street, so.
Without hesitation. I tell you who wouldn't have, we could have a list of who Will Smith wouldn't have walked up on.
Well, that's a very good point, because I know that's a question that has come up, and a lot of men said that he wouldn't have did that to The Rock.
First of all, ain't nobody walking up on The Rock, okay?
But you know what I mean.
Ain't nobody. Dwayne is safe.
Really? You're not gonna walk up on him? Okay, Rodney.
If he say something about your wife, you ain't gonna pull The Rock to the side.
I'm gonna tell my wife to shut the hell up. You better leave Dwayne alone.
We're gonna take an L on this one.
Hey, I'm sorry, Dwayne. She took a medicine.
Oh God. Okay.
Okay, Rodney, you make me mess up my makeup. I'm up here crying, laughing at you.
Mercy. Thank you again
so much
for coming on.
You gotta come back. You gotta come to the studio actually when we're all here. You gotta come back.
Come into the studio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Outside.
Go enjoy your Golden Corral. We're gonna talk about that later off air.
Bye.
You're watching Soul Sisters on Pure Soul, powered by Isaac Hayes on Dash Radio.